IV over pure C.
Anyone else in the house? All right, well, you're about to get your space number right now. Here we go. This is the raffle for your blind paintings. We're going to give away 2. Are we ready? Come on down. Ticket number 027 388027. Come on. Going once, going twice to this beautiful black light. All right, going again. Or are you just checking? Have anyone? Got it?
No.
Another one.
Trying to find it.
All right, I'll come back to it. 026. Oh, I love the donation that was here. It's okay with me. And now you're standing. I'm going to keep going to you every ticket. Here we go. 006.
I got it.
You got it. There it is. Here it comes. Right there. All right, here we go. We gotta get going. We're here all night. 029. 029.
I have that too.
You do not? You get them. You are awesome. I love it.
Ocean Beach, Main Street, 1966. Clint sets up an easel in the middle of the busy street. He is wearing a doctor's smock over swim trunks. His goatee is painted blue, and he has attached a seagull feather to his bald head. Stopping traffic in all directions, Clint dances around and flings paint at the canvas. Traffic horns and cursing come from all sides. A conservative man on the street, 50s, dressed in a tan suit, taps Clint on the shoulder.
What in God's name is going on here?
Go away! You're blocking the vibration.
A man your age behaving in this manner, you are bringing down the youth of this community.
Clint starts hurling paint at the man. A group of kids watching from the sidewalk start cheering. Blackledge and Billy roll up.
All right, spaceman, break it up. You punks, get the hell off the street.
Clint grabs a piece of lemon meringue pie out of the hands of an onlooker and throws it at Blackledge. It misses him, but it hits the windshield of the police cruiser. Blackledge slams Clint's head into the door frame as he shoves him into the back seat of the cruiser. The crowd jeer at Blackledge and close around Blackledge's car. Exterior Millie and Susie's house. Bob pulls up in his Rambler. He knocks on the door. Susie answers, crying.
Daddy?
Susie girl, what's wrong?
She hugs him tightly. The interior of the house is clean and sterile. Millie sits crying on a plastic-covered couch.
Millie, what's going on?
Oh, do you want to tell him?
Susie cries louder and blows her nose.
What? She's pregnant. That no-good bum Tommy did it to her.
With an angry Millie on one side and a blubbering Susie on the other, Bob tries to lighten the moment.
What do you know? I'm going to be a grandfather.
Susie cries louder and Millie shakes her head in disgust. Interior, San Diego jail. Clint sits alone in his cell in a joyful psychotic state. Clint's point of view, animated world. The world around him is all fluorescent with images of Willisborne. As he is being photographed and fingerprinted, showered down, his hands and feet cuffed to the bed, Clint's large police file is dropped on a clerk's desk. The clerk flips through to the last page. Admit to Patton State Hospital for observation. Exterior, Patton State Mental Hospital, San Bernardino. An ambulance pulls up to the gate. Clint's point of view, animated Willisborne. Clint is wheeled on a gurney, smiling and waving.
So good to see you again. Yes, my flight was quite comfortable.
Hello, Mr. Carey. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear your thoughts perfectly.
Delusional, schizophrenic.
How wonderful to see you again, Marchand.
He appears to be in a fantasy world. Any family?
No, doctor.
Clint grabs the nurse by the arm.
Such a beautiful bird.
Let's start with detoxification.
The orderlies wheel Clint away. Interior hospital ward. Clint convulses from alcohol withdrawal. His vision snaps in and out of the reality of the hospital and the animated world of Willisborne. Interior Bob's living room. Bob is on the phone. Swink mixes a couple of highballs in the kitchen. His hands are shaking for alcohol.
Yeah, so 3 months. Can we visit? Right. Then back to OB. Well, that's just great. Thank you.
Bob hangs up the phone. Swink hands Bob a highball.
How long?
He'll be back by October if he can pull himself together. The doctor said he drank himself into a psychotic state verging on schizophrenia.
Swink lifts his shaking hand and gulps his drink.
Wow. Can you come out of it?
It's up to him, I guess. I'll say a treatment for him and see what happens.
Swink sets down his empty glass and turns away. Interior patent recreation room. Clint paints an image of snakes and worms, tangles and writhing, in a hot fluorescent red microcosm. Other patients gather around to watch. An annoying little woman patient goes from person to person, asking repeatedly for a cigarette.
Got a cigarette? Got a cigarette?
Two doctors watch Clint's agitation from a distance.
Got a cigarette?
Cornell indicates show signs of elevated psychopathy,
cigarette?
nervousness, and anxiety.
That shows feelings of inferiority towards women with overt expressions of hostility.
Clint throws his paintbrush down and grabs his pack of cigarettes.
Here, take my whole pack. Just shut up for a goddamn minute.
The little woman takes the pack and goes around offering everyone a cigarette.
Want a cigarette?
Clint bursts out laughing. He pulls out another pack and joins her.
Want a cigarette? Want a cigarette?
Want a cigarette?
Got a cigarette?
Want a cigarette?
It all seems indicative of a dominating mother, no father figure, early sex guilt, and guilt regarding drinking.
Strong artistic tendencies, though.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my conclusion is that he's basically an inadequate, immature, emotionally unstable individual who has periodic problems with drinking.
I recommend that he be encouraged to attend AA on a regular basis upon his release from this facility.
Exterior patent gates. Bob and Swink sit in the parked Rambler waiting. The gates open and Clint exits carrying an armful of paintings. Bob and Swink hop out and help him with his load. Exterior Highway 101 South. The Rambler glides through the countryside. The three laugh and kid just like old times. Interior San Diego Probation Office. Clint and Bob sit across from Bert, a tired and cynical probation officer.
I know that I hit rock bottom last summer. I'm trying to make a comeback right now. I know if I take another drink, I'll lose my wife, go back to Patton, lose my friends.
Against my better judgment, you've been granted full probation.
I appreciate the chances you all have given me, even if I did mess them up. But I've never been to Patton, and I never want to go there again.
With the understanding that you are to attend AA meetings and report your progress to me.
And me.
Do you understand these terms?
Looking at Bob.
Yes, I do. But I promise you, I'll keep it cool. You can count on me.
Interior Bob's living room night. A large crowd wraps around the cottage, smoking and drinking. Clint slips through the crowd and into the cottage. A hopping jam session is underway, and the room is packed. The players are young and talented. The music is a wild and free improvisation.
Have you done any painting?
Yes, Bob, as a matter of fact, I've done some of my best painting in a while. I have a couple that are for sale if there are any takers.
Sounds great. Hey, big question is, are you ever going to drink again? Let's get this down on tape.
Hell no. I've learned my lesson. If I ever drink again, I'll for sure end up back in Pat.
Ha! You heard it here, folks. The spaceman is back. Life's a gas.
Exterior cottage on the cliff. The party crowd grows around the cottage. Interior, Bob's living room. Very early the next morning. Everyone is gone. Bob at the microphone stand looking out the panoramic window. Clint sits slumped on the couch. They trade off speaking into the tape recorder.
It's a beautiful Sunday morning, April 30th, 1967. 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have the hiccups. We had a wonderful jam session here this evening. A whole bunch of people, a few chicks too.
Quite a few.
But that's not the big thing. The big thing is my friend, Spaceman.
Bob looked at a spaceman painting on the wall.
He's one of the greatest artists that ever came in the entire universe. I am sure of this. But to make a long story short, he's not supposed to drink right now because he's an alcoholic. And he gets himself in tremendous troubles and problems. I don't think anybody can say why one drinks under these conditions. The Spaceman, tell everybody, tell the world, why do you drink?
Clint sits up and grabs the microphone.
Well, I suppose to put it very bluntly, the reason I drink is because I like to. And because I'm so goddamn beautiful that I can hardly stand it. And drinking helps.
Yes, maybe possibly Spaceman wants to be in jail. I think that's the story. I mean, there are people that must be confined. They must have to have that security of the bars and the beans every morning.
I love being in jail because it feels so goddamn good when you get out.
I guess I'll have to tap on the infinite intelligence that is and get him straight before he goes back to Patton Nut House.
And in my wildest dreams, I don't have the most remote idea of going back to Patton. I'm free, white, and 21, and goddamn the summer of '67 is going to be a gas, so we got no sweat. Ha ha!
If Spaceman wants to drink, if he wants to do whatever he wants to do, he can. I mean, I've got my own problems. I've got my own life to live. I've got to do what I can for myself. I mean, like I said, if he wants to drink himself to death and go to Patton or go to jail, that's his problem. What do you got to say about that, Spaceman?
Now, I've known old Oaksy here a good many years, and I think he understands my problem as well as anyone. Of course, he never permits me in his house when I'm drinking on account of that I have kleptomaniac tendencies.
Right.
I well understand that, and that is no great argument between us. We just understand the law of the underworld. Why do I like to drink? Why do I like to drink?
It's not why do you like to drink, it's why do you have to drink.
That's a goddamn lie. I don't have to drink, but I want. Christ, I could knock it off tomorrow. I've done it many times. Why do I like to drink? I'll tell you why. It's because life is so goddamn beautiful, that's all.
Testify.
He has a good point there. Life is beautiful, but I personally prefer to sit here in my pad and look out the ocean, the waves coming in, the sun coming down, 6 o'clock in the morning, listening to some beautiful music.
Yeah, but them goddamn breakers don't look half as beautiful unless you're in a cool 42.
Right?
I have a few quarts of paint I've got to slap on different murals and things this summer. So therefore, I suppose I'll have to be sober part of the time. But I'm so goddamn great for this mediocre world. This goddamn world is nothing but a shit trap. You know, we're trapped here, but I've been other places. And so comparing this place with where I've been, getting back here, God almighty, you can't blame a guy for having a few snorts, can you? Or a few hundred. A few hundred, that is, a few hundred. Especially if it's a cool 42 gallows wine. That's my favorite.
Well, in conclusion, the tape's getting short. The Spaceman has got to stop drinking as of right now. If not, I think I'll turn him in myself. I think I'll call his probation officer in about an hour and turn him in.
I haven't broken my probation yet.
You're drinking and you're out of your mind.
I'm not going back to jail.
Clint heads to the bathroom and slams the door.
Well, that's the Spaceman of Ocean Beach. One of the greatest artists in the world, but he may never paint again. I'm not trying to lay down any positive thinking in the wrong direction. I mean, he's a beautiful cat, and I love him, but what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, what would you do? What would you do? These people I'm talking to right now.
Bob motions across an empty room.
Everybody's sitting there. What would you do with my friend Clint Carey? One of the most beautiful people, one of the greatest artists, one of the nicest people. What would you do if this happened to you? God, I wish you'd come right here and give me the answer.
Clint comes out of the bathroom.
Anything you want to say in conclusion, Clint?
Yeah.
Clint grabs the microphone and gazes out the window.
Goddamn Oaks found the bottle I hid in the bathroom and took it. I'll wait for the liquor store to open in the morning. At least, goddamn it, I'm going to leave some goddamn beautiful monuments behind, and I hope to Christ that all my friends own these monuments.
Hey, Spacey, do you believe in death?
Hell no.
Me either. Would you care if you died tonight?
What the hell's the difference? You just have the inconvenience of having to buy a casket from Reverend Oaks.
Thanks for the plug, baby. My big saying is when you go with Oaks. Well, tape's coming to an end. This is Oaks signing off. God bless the spaceman.
Bob switches off the tape recorder.
Be careful with that tape. It's a classic. So for Christ's sake, don't ruin it.
Want to hear it back?
Yeah.
Bob switches the reels to rewind. Interior Bob's bedroom. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and Bob is still asleep. The phone rings in the kitchen. Bob stumbles in, painfully hungover, and grabs the phone.
Oaks. Hey, Daniel. What? Tonight? Well, yeah, I can make it. No, I won't be late. Thanks, Daniel.
Bob hangs up the phone and slaps and rubs his face, trying to wake up. Exterior cottage garage. Bob walks wearing a suit and carrying his saxophone case. He opens the garage door to find the Rambler gone. He rushes back to his cottage, frantically dials the phone.
Come on, Swing. Pick it up. Swing! Where's the spaceman? He took my goddamn car, and I gotta get over to the poorhouse by 5 o'clock for an audition. Yes! I know what time it is. Get over here quick!
Exterior, the poorhouse, La Jolla. The Swing stented Impala pulls up in front of the club. Bob hops out with the saxophone and runs in. The place is empty. The bartender comes out.
Excuse me. I'm Bob Oaks. Daniel Jackson sent me over to audition. Is Mr. Coleman here?
He just left. The younger dude showed up. I think you went with him.
No kidding. Damn it all!
Do you want a drink?
Exterior, Ocean Beach Dunes hideout. 100 feet from the water's edge, a large cave has been dug out of a sand dune. Discarded chairs, couches, and tables furnish the secret hideout. Clint sits on a broken-down Barcalounger with a plastic crown on his head. 2 teenage space cadets sit on either side. Prince 14, fat and insecure, rushes in carrying a surfboard.
Sorry it took so long.
I almost gave up on you, Prince 14. Boys, I'm hungry. How about we get us some food?
Sounds good to me.
The boys huddle around Clint as he lays out the plan. Exterior, Ocean Beach waves. Clint paddles out past the break. He jumps in front of another surfer and takes his wave. Clint gets up and starts flapping his arms like he's flying. On the beach, the sunbathers' attentions are turned to Clint surfing.
Hey, it's a spaceman putting on a show. Look, everybody.
The space cadets creep up behind the unsuspecting crowd and steal as many beach bags as they can grab. Prince stuffs a sandwich in his mouth as he runs away. Ocean Beach waves. Clint shoots a wave and knocks a surfer under. Exterior, Beach Dunes hideout. Clint crawls into the hideout. He's surprised to find Prince being held by 2 punks. Eddie, pockmarked and mean, is sitting on the Barcalounger, twirling the plastic crown.
Nice pad, spaceman.
Eddie, get the hell out of my chair.
What you got in the bags?
Now wait 1 goddamn minute, that's our take.
I don't think so.
Eddie jumps Clint and starts pounding it. The punks join in. Interior Bob's living room. A very pregnant Susie sits on the couch, flipping through a magazine. Bob is in the kitchen, cooking a steak on the stove.
How do you like yours cooked?
Medium rare, please.
Eddie walks in through the open front door.
I'm here to collect on the spaceman dead. Any idea where he is?
No. Now get the hell out of here.
Eddie pulls 2 paintings off the wall. Bob comes at him with a steak knife in his hand.
Take your hands off those paintings.
Eddie quickly pulls out a switchblade. Susie screams.
You better watch yourself, old man.
Bob backs away.
All right, cool it. Take the paintings and go.
Eddie laughs and runs out the door with the paintings. Exterior Robb Field. A banner reads, Peace Rally and Music Festival. A large crowd gathers around a small stage. San Diego police stand by in full riot gear. A young MC steps onto the stage.
Our next speaker knows something about being oppressed by the pigs. Okay, all you space cats, shout it out if you have your number. And that sure as hell don't mean your draft number. For the spaceman of Ocean Beach.
The crowd goes wild. Blacklead shakes his head in disbelief. Clint, draped in an American flag, bounds onto the stage.
Ha! Hello, space cats! Good to be back in beautiful Ocean Beach, USA! My good friends on Realist 4 are very concerned about all the violence being inflicted on our young people by the establishment. I was given a message just for you, San Diego police. Stop hassling everybody, why don't you? Try peace and love, man. We are all so beautiful. We are all so beautiful.
The crowd agrees and starts chanting and pointing at the police.
We are all so beautiful. We are all so beautiful. We are all so beautiful.
The cops move in to disperse the crowd. Clint is clubbed on the head and knocked unconscious. Blackledge stands over him ready to strike again. Interior Bob's living room, 1970. Small jam session, Ed on piano, Bud on drums, and Swink on clarinet plunge through a blues number. Bob tears into an angry, out-of-control solo. He plays out of tune, screeching and honking. The musicians exchange glances of concern and stop playing.
What the hell are you doing? Why'd you stop?
Maybe we should take a break, Oaks.
Why? It's still early. Come on. Count us in, bud.
Clint comes through the door with the painting tucked under his arm. He's wearing a filthy pair of swim trunks. His feet are black, he's shirtless, and his upper body is bruised from beatings.
Having a jam session without me? Now, Oaks, you know I'm the star of this scene. Fire up the recorder. I got a hell of a story about how I escaped from the drunk tank.
Get out.
Don't be a son of a bitch, Oaks. Look, I brought one of my best paintings ever. I'll sell it to you for $50.
The painting is a dripping paint image of an alien creature standing over a crowd, arm extended pointing the way. Clint's signature at the bottom of the painting is only the scribbled word, paw. Bob takes the painting from Clint and sets it down. Then he grabs Clint by the arm and pushes him out the door.
Get the hell out and don't ever come back.
He slams the door shut and locks it. Bob storms down the hall to the bedroom and slams the door. Exterior rundown apartment complex morning. There's a scream from inside the complex. Clint rushes out. He's in a psychotic state, wearing only torn, dirty swim trunks that barely cover him. A 12-year-old girl walking along the sidewalk with a bag of empty soda bottles freezes while a raving mad Clint approaches her. He grabs the bag of bottles. She resists. He pulls harder and throws the girls to the ground.
Help! Help me! He took my bottles! Help!
Yes, mine. Yes, mine.
The girl cries louder. The neighbors come out of their houses to see what's going on. Clint cuts across the street and ducks down the alley. Interior Bob's living room. Bob stands at a canvas, putting the finishing touches on an abstract painting. Blackledge storms in through the front door.
It's open.
Where is it?
Ooh.
I knew it'd come to this. You're always covering for him. I had to drag your ass in jail with him.
Man, I have no idea what you're talking about.
To get that dirty son of a bitch off the streets of OB for good. You're not bailing him out this one, Oaks.
Blackledge storms out the door. Interior courtroom. Clint, in a psychotic state, stands before Judge O'Connor.
Mr. Carey, do you understand the seriousness of this indictment against you?
Clint mumbles and gestures incoherently at his lawyer.
Your Honor, Mr. Carey is clearly out of his mind. We plead not guilty due to insanity and ask that the court turn Mr. Carey over to county mental health for evaluation.
So be it. I, for one, am sick and tired of this pathetic excuse for a human being cluttering up my courtroom. Get him out of here.
The bailiff drags him away. Interior Bob's living room. He removes spaceman paintings from his walls. and Bob replaces them with his own work. Susie and her baby daughter sit on the couch watching television. The phone rings. Bob ignores it.
Dad, aren't you going to answer it?
No,
Why are you taking down the spaceman's painting?
time to change things up.
He hangs his own large abstract floral painting on the wall.
That's beautiful, Daddy.
Interior Patton State Mental Hospital day. Clint writhes in pain from the alcohol withdrawal. He is given shock treatments. He sits comatose, staring out the window. Interior living room night. Bob practices his saxophone alone. He keeps taking his right hand off the horn to shake it, as if he's trying to wake it up. Interior Patton Recreation Room day. Christmas, 1970. Clint sits at a table writing a letter.
Dear Bob, I'm doing well. Feeling a lot better now that I'm not drinking. They say I won't be here too much longer. That's a relief to hear. I sure miss OB. Say hello to everybody.
Interior Bob's living room. It's a small afternoon jam session. A frustrated Bob struggles with his saxophone. His fingers freeze on the keys of the horn and he can't stay on the beat. His sound is flat.
Did you get the money I sent? Doing some painting. Good ones too. I'll give them to you if you'll visit and bring me some cigarettes. I wish you would respond. Anyway, Merry Christmas, old friend.
As we spin around the room, players come and go, then all dissolve away, leaving Bob alone with his sax. His playing becomes so labored he can't stand and play at the same time.
I guess it is time I discuss why I'm in here, as I'm sure things have been said that are, I'm sure there's been some pretty bad things said about me around Ocean Beach. None of it is true.
Exterior Bob's cottage on the cliff. Bob stands watching the crowd on the beach, the surfers, the waves, the suns, setting low on the horizon.
They say I hurt some kids, and that there were witnesses. All a damn lie. No one testified against me. They charged me with grand larceny, though. Now, Oaks, you know I would never do anything to hurt a child. I love kids, you know that. I was drunk out of my mind. I'd been drinking for weeks and living on the streets. These so-called friends of mine invited me over to paint them a picture and kept me pouring me drinks all night. And the next thing I know, I'm getting put in the back of a squad car. I got 7 years probation, and I can't come back to Ocean Beach during that time. When I get out of here, I'm off to Vermont to stay with my uncle. This will all pass, I'm sure of it. I just hope that someday you will forgive me for all this craziness. Continue to be my friend. Always your friend. Spaceman.
Clint walks out of the Patton gates carrying a stack of paintings in a small suitcase. Exterior OB Pier. Bob walks down the pier blowing his sax. He stops at the end and looks back at his cottage on the cliff. He tightens his grip on the saxophone. He climbs on the rail and looks down at the dark, cold water. Splash. Bob is underwater blowing his horn. He struggles to free the instrument from around his neck. Air rushes out of his lungs. He thrashes for his life. Interior Bob's bedroom. Bob wakes from his nightmare, gasping for air. Exterior Bob's cottage on the cliff. Day after day, one after another, musicians come to Bob's door looking for a jam session, but no one answers.
You in there? Hey, Bob. Open up.
Hello.
Hello.
The door remains closed and locked. Interior doctor's office. Bob and Susie sit silently waiting. Susie reaches over and takes Bob's shaking hand.
It'll be okay, Daddy. I'm sure of it.
Stinks in here. Let's go back to OB.
Dr. Joan, 50s, tan and healthy, steps into the office.
Ms. Jokes, there's no easy way to say this, but it appears that you are in the early stages of Parkinson's disease.
What? I don't understand.
Parkinson's is a degenerative disorder of the nervous system. The symptoms can be shakes, rigid limbs, difficulty in walking, slurred speech. You may also experience depression and have difficulty sleeping, nightmares.
Bob pulls his hand away from Susie.
Is there a cure?
No, but I will prescribe medication that typically reduces the symptoms. However, in time, playing the saxophone will become nearly impossible.
Interior Church of Religious Science. Bob sits alone in the back row of the congregation. Dr. Jones speaks from the pulpit.
So while it is true that disease, or dis-ease, has a prototype in subjective mind, it is also true that the individual who suffers from the disease frequently has never thought he was going to have trouble. But this does not alter the fact that every disease which comes up through subjectivity and appears in the body must come through mind.
Bob rises and walks out. Interior, Bob's living room. Bob lays a Louis Armstrong record on the turntable, switches on the tape recorder, and grabs the mic.
Shuffling around in my music room, I came across some letters I wrote many moons ago. So I thought I'd capture them on tape. First one is titled My Night Hops, dated March 5th, 1944.
Flashback. Exterior, TikTok Club. Marquee. Louis Armstrong, final show. A 30-year-old Bob and Millie rush through the club doors.
Today, Boston loses, for not too long time, I hope, the greatest of all jazz musicians, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Interior, TikTok Club. A slim Louis Armstrong, age 43, leads the band. Bob and Millie take their seats near the stage.
I had the great pleasure of meeting him, and also some of his boys in his band.
Louis gives Bob a wink and a wave.
When Millie and I saw Pops, as is proper to call him, about 4 years ago, he was quite stout and was even sporting a fine bulge of fat on the back of his neck. I mean, today he's very much not a fat man. He's as streamlined as his gold trumpet.
Interior, Malden, Massachusetts apartment. Louis and a few other musicians sit around Bob's kitchen table talking and eating breakfast.
We were very much honored last Monday night when we entertained Pops after his work at the TikTok. Old Duca made the arrangements. After so many years of listening to Louis' records, it is a rare thrill to have him sitting in my living room and hearing that mellow, husky voice talking about such things as one would be heard at an informal gathering, such as we had that night.
End flashback. Bob sets the letter back in the box and takes out a photo of Louis.
By the way, the party broke up at 9 in the morning. As he was leaving, Pop slips me 4 of his special cigarettes. And he said he had a good time, and the next time he comes to Boston, he wants to see me again. If things had just been a little different in those days, I feel as though Louis and I could have been good friends. I know I dug him, and I'm quite sure Pops dug me.
He sets the photo back on top of the piano.
He really means what he says, written in his famous green ink.
All I have to say, Oaks, it's always kicks and nothing else. No, sir. Yours, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Interior, Bob's living room. Bob pulls his sax out of the closet and begins the ritualistic assembling of the instrument. Later, a large crowd of musicians and friends are gathered around the cottage. Bob switches on the tape recorder and grabs the microphone.
Well, here we are again after being away far too long. Today is July 4th, 1971, and we are celebrating Louis Armstrong's birthday today. We got a lot of great musicians dropping by to honor Louis' 69th birthday. And Old Oaks is going to give it a go as well. Maybe play a little OB blues, and we shall see what the universe provides. Happy birthday, Pops. And thanks for all the good times. Life's a gas.
As the band
It's the spaceman. How's the weather there in chilly Vermont?
Too damn cold for me. I sure miss beautiful Ocean Beach. You having a jam session? Tell everyone I said hello.
When you coming back?
Well, I've cleared my probation period, and if I can get a job, I can come back there this summer. You think I could crash at your pad till I get on my feet? Folks, did you hear? Oh,
Think that's a good idea?
I haven't had a drink in over 7 years, and I've never felt better. I'll stay till I can get a little place of my own, doing some of my best painting, too. Wait, do you see them, Oaks?
Exterior Ocean Beach, Newport Avenue Day, August 1977. The street is full of summertime tourists seeking fun in the sun. Interior Bob's living room. Swink brews coffee. Bob pulls out the mic and threads a tape through the recorder. Clint sits at the piano, casually playing a classical number. Bob clicks on the recorder.
Well, what do you know? The cold spaceman showed up at my door today. We haven't seen him in a long while, since 7 years or so, and in that time he has taught himself how to play the piano.
Clint stops playing.
Just a bit. I just fool around with it.
Come over here, Clint, and tell us what's going on.
Well, Bob, it's good to be back in Ocean Beach. I really missed everybody.
Are there any plans for a show?
Well, yes, that's also why I'm here. An old friend of mine named Stig Blackman has made all the arrangements at a place in Balboa Park. It's going to be a really big show, and we hope to sell all the paintings. Plus, I'll be handing out all new space numbers. I was contacted recently by the Realisporians, and they instructed me to start a new series of numbers. I gave out a lot of false numbers while I was drinking, so I need to make amends.
Yes, that all sounds good and positive, but the real question is, are you drinking, or will you ever drink again?
Bob, Richard, I can honestly say that my drinking days are behind me. I know that if I ever reach over and pour myself a drink, I will lose everything and end up on Skid Row or worse.
I believe you have kicked this thing, man. I know you can do it.
Thank you, Richard.
Well, we shall see. Any trouble pending with the law?
No, sir. I cleared probation and have been allowed to move back to San Diego for work purposes. And as long as I don't hang around a bunch of kids and so forth, I can live in OB.
You'll be staying with me for a while.
Well, this is all very interesting, and we shall see how it plays out. Life's still a gas. This is Oaks, signing off.
Bob reaches over with a slightly trembling hand and switches off the recorder. Montage, the spaceman of Ocean Beach returns. Posters, bumper stickers, and newspaper headlines proclaim the spaceman's return. An art show opening is seen through a series of snapshots of Clint posing with folks in their paintings. Sold paintings disappear off the walls. The last photo is of an exuberant Clint with his arm around Bob. End montage. Ocean Beach, 1985, 8 years later. Interior, Bob's living room. Jam session. Bob stands back in the kitchen watching the scene. A couple of ladies come in. They hug and kiss Bob, and tell him how good he looks. The jam comes to an end. The crowd shows their appreciation.
Take 5, everybody. Don't forget, only drink what you brought, and not too much.
The crowd disperses to the outside. Bob shuts off the tape machine, pulls the full reel off, and puts another on. From outside, we hear a commotion. Clint comes in through the front door, drunk off his ass.
Hey, folks. You're having a little jam session without me. Fire that machine up.
Policeman, you're drunk.
No, Oaks, you can't blame a guy for taking a nip from time to time just to settle my nerves.
Get the hell out of here.
Oaks.
Bob moves toward him, pointing to the door.
Out! Right now, or I will call the cops.
Fine, be that way. I don't need this kind of crap coming from you.
They stand face to face.
You are nothing but a damn bum.
Well, you're nothing but a two-bit hack musician.
Clint storms out the door. 1 year later, exterior alley behind Bob's cottage. Rain pours down. Clint, wearing dirty rags, his left eye blinded with cataracts, digs through trash cans searching for food. Interior Bob's bedroom. Bob wakes when he hears a noise in the living room. He struggles to get out of bed. His body shakes as he shuffles down the hall. Interior Bob's living room. Bob catches Clint crawling out of the side window. He has the Mahalala painting, a bottle of bourbon, and Bob's old trombone tucked under his arm. Bob grabs him and pulls him back.
Oh, no, you don't, you son of a bitch.
They both fall backwards and crash down on the coffee table. Clint on top of Bob. Bob hits Clint with an ashtray. Clint drops the painting and Bob grabs it. They get into a tug of war.
God damn it, Oaks. You stole this painting from me. Now let it go.
You gave it to me for all that I did for you.
Clint lets go of the painting and Bob falls back to the ground. He is shaking hard from the Parkinson's. Clint stands over Bob with the trombone in one hand and the bottle of whiskey in the other.
Ha!
He crawls out the window. Exterior alley. Clint walks down the alley blowing saints on the trombone. Exterior alley trash cans. Eddie and his sidekick girlfriend sit under a makeshift cover. Clint crashes into them.
Get the hell out of my flop. You son of a bitch, and take your ugly girlfriend with you.
Give me a hit off that bottle.
Hell no.
Give it up, you piece of shit.
You calling a piece of shit, you piece of shit. Tell her, get the hell out of my pad and take your ugly girlfriend with you.
The bums pull Clint to the ground and start kicking and punching him. It's a ruthless beating. Clint lifts his head up.
I hereby revoke all your numbers.
Eddie gives him one final kick to the face. Blinding flash. Exterior, animated Rillisfor. We are in a beautiful day-glow garden on the edge of a lake. The three sons of Rillisfor float overhead. Clint is lying on the ground with his eyes closed. An Ola bird walks by and places its beak to his lips. Clint opens his eyes and smiles.
Is it time to get up already? Oh, yes, I'm starving. So good to see you again. Marshawn is asking for me. Mustn't keep him waiting.
Clint walks off with a flock of Ola birds surrounding him. Alley night. Rain pours down. Clint is lying on the ground with blood pouring from his face. Swink's car turns down the alley. He struggles to see through the windshield wipers. He spots Clint's body lying in the road. Swink gets out of the car and lifts Clint's head. An eyeball dangles out of its socket.
Oh,
Wow.
dear God. What have you done?
Hospital room. Clint lies in a hospital bed, eyes covered with bandages. Bob and Swink sit bedside.
What the doctors say?
The eye is gone. It's totally blind. How's he going to survive? How's he going to paint?
Clint mumbles and grabs at the air. Bob and Swink jump to his side.
What's that, Clint? Can you hear me? It's Swing. Oh. What's that?
Get Larry Himmel on the phone. He's got to come get me out of here.
From above, we look down as Bob and Swink lean in to hear Clint's incoherent ramblings. Exterior Ocean Beach, April 15th, 1988. From the top of the hill, we fly down Newport Avenue. From a passing car radio, we hear the KGB News Brothers.
You're listening to the News Brothers, and it's noon, and you know what that means. Time to check in with our old friend, the Spaceman.
Clint speaks to the News Brothers over the phone.
Spaceman of Ocean Beach.
Hey, spaceman! See any Martians today?
I was at a party the other night. No, should walk in, but Miles Davis.
Ah, sure, Spaceman. Miles Davis.
And then John Barrymore walked in.
John Barrymore, and didn't he die a few years back? Well, you never know with a spaceman.
Exterior seawall. Clint sits in a wheelchair wearing an old dirty blue suit and dark glasses covering his eyes. He holds up a handful of blind paintings. Spaceman of Ocean Beach t-shirts hang off his chair. A couple of customers survey the goods.
These are my blind paintings. $3 each, or 2 for $5. I'll sign it and throw in a space number. God made me blind so I couldn't drink anymore. Good thing, too.
He reaches under his seat and pulls out more paintings.
I have more down here if you don't see anything you like.
The sound of Bob's saxophone creeps in.
Is that Oaks? Hey, Bob Oaks, the best friend in the whole world. Go see
and up to Bob's cottage, we fly through the open door. Interior Bob's living room. The sound of a saxophone is coming from the radio. A microphone connected to a cassette recorder sits nearby.
That was the great Bob Oakes, recorded in his Ocean Beach pad on August 8th, 1969. Today we are celebrating the Ocean Beach Ambassador of Jazz, Bob Oakes. We have tributes and interviews from many players that got a chance to play at Bob's OB pad. The great Daniel Jackson, Kenny Burrell, Eric Shaw, Lori Bell, and many more are dropping by to give their thanks to Bob Oakes.
As musicians thank Bob for all the years of jam sessions, hundreds of souls, musicians, family, and friends ghost in and out of the living room. Swink sits nearby on the couch, flipping through a photo album. Bob sits looking out his window at the big blue Pacific.
There's been a lot of great musicians come through my house. I got over 500 tapes of nothing but jam sessions and 100 more with my old friend and spaceman. People talk about having a burning desire to do something special in this world. All my life, all I wanted to do was play my sax. I had to give up playing a few years back, but the damn thing began to feel less like brass and more like lead. Well, what are you gonna do? Life's still a gas. This is XL/1. Signing off.
We pull up and away from the cottage